Hey everyone, it is Sunday, and this week's topic is life pre-T versus life post-T. And similar to Liam, we should have switched days because 2 days ago was my 3 years on T, and today is his 1 year on T. So we should have switched days. Missed opportunity though. Next time, definitely next time, we can do that. There won't be a next time. Okay, so I would have loved to make like this beautiful montage video that Chase made, which like if I could cry, I would have, but I can't because T. I have access to my old computers, but they're very slow and I haven't really figured out the best way I'm going to migrate the videos onto this computer yet. And there are no pre-T videos on this computer, so if you would like to see Baby Reed pre-T, please go to my personal channel. I will leave the links below to the channel itself and to my 1 year on T video and my 2 years on T video. I have not made my 3 years on T video yet because I have not figured out the best way to migrate the videos onto this computer. So stay tuned. So besides this being a timely video, this is a topic that I love to talk about. And this is, I think, like, the most asked question that I get from cis people or trans people is like, what's it like to go on testosterone, or what's it like to have the changes that you go through. And for trans people, they often ask more in the way of how did I get T and what was the process like for me. So I'm just going to start by saying that testosterone was the best thing that ever happened to me. I was very hesitant to go on testosterone. I had been sort of exploring my gender since 2009. In late 2008, I cut all my hair off and I started to dress more male. And I really only started experimenting with pronouns in 2009, but I think it just was all part of the journey to get here. And the more videos I watched on YouTube, the more I understood that this was what I was, and that I was trans, and the YouTube community was infinitely helpful for me to try to figure that out. And now that I'm here, I can tell you how I got T, and I can tell you how I felt pre-T versus post-T. So I went to just like a free clinic in Northampton, Massachusetts, which was where I went to college at the time. So it was very easy for me to just go down there and just get it. I did have a bit of a snag when I went to get it the first time because I made an appointment in August for like mid-September, I think, in 2011. And when I went to the appointment, it was like a brand new doctor, and he had never seen a trans patient before. And literally everyone who I had talked to who got T from this clinic was like, oh, it's so easy, they just give it to you, blah, blah, blah. But that was not my experience with him. He was like pretty rude and really uninformed, and it broke my heart. I was so expecting to get T at that appointment. And for all of you who have experienced that, I know how that feels walking out of that appointment without testosterone. And like literally I was so sad. I didn't really know what to do with myself. But I did make another appointment with somebody else at the same clinic, and I went in and we just chatted for a while, and I didn't need a letter from a therapist or anything, and she wrote me a prescription. So November 14th, 2011, I started testosterone, and literally it changed my life. I don't think I would be here today if I hadn't done this, and if I had known that then, I definitely would have done it sooner, but I was very hesitant. I wasn't sure if this was the right thing for me, and it was a huge deal, and I wasn't taking it lightly, and I really thought about it, and I went to therapy for like 2 years, and I really just needed to know 100% that this was gonna work, and that's just the kind of person I am, and I don't think it is the best way to approach testosterone. It is a big deal, don't get me wrong, but something that my therapist said to me really clicked with me before I got T, and she was saying, you're never going to be 100% sure because you're never going to know that this is going to work out unless you do it. And it just like really resonated with me. Like, yeah, like how would I be 100% sure? Like, this is a really scary thing. I was really scared of what was going to happen to me, and how people were going to treat me, and about coming out to my family and them seeing me go through changes, and what if nobody respected my pronouns. And it was really, really scary. And she was like, it's a really scary thing, so you're probably not going to be 100% about this unless you do it and find out that it was the right or wrong thing. So I did. I took her advice. So that's kind of my life pre-T. I was very eager to get on it, and once I was on it, I was very eager for the changes to come, because I did not pass really at all. I started passing pretty quickly, though. I started within my first 2 months, I think I started passing, so that was really good for me. And transitioning out of women's college was actually a really unique experience as well. So I was there pre-T, and I entered identifying fully as female. So it was a really interesting experience to get to go through my transition in like a really queer-centric community. It was awesome, actually. It was a really cool experience. It's actually an experience that I'm going to be making a video about very soon. I've been trying to gather my thoughts on it, because there's a lot to say, and I've seen a lot of people post about it on Facebook and stuff, their opinions on it, and their opinions on whether or not trans men should be at women's colleges. So I have an opinion, and I'm going to speak out, so stay tuned. My life post-T, I feel like the biggest shift has been, before T, all I thought about was transitioning. It was like literally every single thought that went through my brain was about being on T, or having the right pronouns, or passing, or what name I should use, or whatever it was. Literally every thought that came through my brain was that. And once I discovered YouTube, I would literally go to class, come home, and lie in bed for the rest of the day and watch as many YouTube videos of trans people as I could. It was everything that I did. Everything that I did was centered around it. And I think in some ways that was good for me, because I really immersed myself in the culture, and I really found out that I wanted to be part of that culture. But at the same time, it was sort of unhealthy, because I really admire people who can kind of separate being trans from, whatever they're going through in their life. And I think that for me, I really couldn't separate it. Being trans was my entire life at that point, and I was very focused on it until I got testosterone. And even after I got testosterone, I got top surgery like 9 months later. So I was just very focused on it. But now I think about it a lot, but it's in a different way. It's in the ways that I'm relating to society, and the ways that I'm relating to other men around me, whether they're cis or trans or whatever. And just small things like going to the bathroom in a men's bathroom every day, and stuff like that I come across, but it's not obsessive like it was before. I'm not fixated on it, and I think testosterone is the key to unlocking that, because it just made me so much of who I am today, and I would not be this person if it wasn't for testosterone. And it's not for everyone, I understand that, but it was definitely for me, and I definitely had to go through this whole journey to realize that it was for me. And it really just changed my life in ways I can't even describe. So that's really the biggest shift for me between being pre-T and being post-T, as well as passing, obviously. But I literally never think about passing anymore. I never walk into a room and think, oh, who's going to see me? Am I going to pass? Or whatever. I never think of that anymore. And that is, I feel so privileged for that, because that's just, it takes a huge weight off your shoulders. And I remember the stress that I felt just going out in public, because I was ashamed of whatever people were going to call me. And, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I'm very, very grateful for that. So, people, go to my personal channel, view me as an infant, and, subscribe to me. Let me know what you think. And I'll be making a 3 years on T video very soon. Before, I usually did like a montage, and I think it's going to be a montage, but it's also going to be more of a reflection of my life as passing as a man, like 100% of the time. And, not a 24-year-old man. I passed probably as like 17, but, all in good time. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.